Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I've got a special car on the channel for you. We're gonna do some work. I'm gonna record some of it. Stick around and find out what car this is. That's an S197. See you in a second.
Let's go.
All right guys, so as I mentioned in the small intro, we have an S197 car going to be on the channel today. Going forward, it will be on the channel because this car is not just mine, but it is also my buddy's Crispy 50. So he and I share this car. He will be driving it and we're gonna get some work done today on it. So today we're gonna do the front struts. We're going to replace the springs because it's lowered. The wheels that it's currently on, these are 20-inch Rovos, and if you notice, it does have Brembo brakes on it. So we're going to try and test fit some wheels to find out what we can replace these wheels with. We're going to do the rear springs. We're going to adjust the rear panhard bar because if we're going to raise the height, you got to adjust the panhard bar for the center of gravity. So we're going to do that. The car does not currently have a rear sway bar. We will be adding one today. Hopefully everything will go good with that, or go well with that, I should say. And yes, we will be also changing up the mufflers. So it currently has pre-existing modifications done. We're gonna fix the mufflers today because I'm not a fan of Flowmaster, aka Drone Master. So we're gonna get this car squared away today, and we're gonna get it done in my driveway, and that should get everything squared away with the sound, the ride height, and drivability. So we're gonna get something squared away today. Oh, and lastly, important, one of the pieces for the cooling, the upper radiator hose, we're gonna be replacing that today because that already has a leak on it. So I've got the T for the cooling, for the coolant, and that leads to the thermostat and the upper radiator hose. So we're gonna get those two parts done today as well. So we're gonna get the toughest stuff done first, which is gonna be the fronts, and I'll get you some clips. All right guys, got Crispy 50 here. We're gonna get to working on the Coyote. We're gonna get this shit done. So we got the rear stuff, the rear springs we're gonna tackle now, then probably the rear valance and the mufflers if we can, all in one swing, because we'll be doing all the stuff in the rear end, and then we'll go to the front. So right now we're jacking up the car, gonna get the car lifted, then we're gonna support the jack stands where the pinch welds are, and we're gonna raise up this rear axle right now. So that's gonna be the first task. These rear springs, yeah, right there. So stay tuned. All right, so right now we're loosening the shock so we can lower the differential and get out the spring, keep everything together. So now that the shock is loose, it'll make it easier time to lower the axle and get the spring out. Beautiful. Right about there, looks good. All right, now we're gonna get the spring out. All right, so we just took out the springs. So now we're gonna put the OEM springs back in. So
this is gonna be your, kind of acts like a cushion or bump stop. So
right,
it's gonna go right in there.
Yep.
And then we're gonna slide the spring in exactly the way it came out.
Right.
We're gonna go up into the spring tower, and it looks like I might have to lower this a little bit.
All right. We'll be right back after these messages.
Like so. Slip her onto the pry bar, compress, drag back, and installed.
And that was our short commercial break. So yes, we had to go get some pry bars, and now we got the rear shock on. So now we're gonna go to the other side and get the other one done. All right, so
we still have to put.
we still got the shock to do right now. I made a funny blooper moment. So now that the shock is in, we gotta get this axle back on to the shock, and we're gonna be golden. So we're gonna finish this side up right now. We're gonna raise the jack, and then we're gonna line it up.
Could you raise that for me?
Yes, I can. I can lift and film. Almost there. Got it? Perfect.
So Ford really did us a disservice here. They tried to, you know, give you a nut with this little flange on the end so that it wouldn't spin, but hey Ford, it's still spinning. I know you guys.
It's like rims. They're spinning, they're spinning, they're spinning, they're spinning.
And I love the people who comment on the videos saying, "Oh, you just don't know how to work on cars." You're right. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm just doing it. Well, that to me looks like it's installed. So
Okay. This side looks pretty complete to me. And
we're gonna slap the wheel back on.
yep.
Go to the other side, jack that side up, completely repeat the process, and then the rear springs will be 100% done.
Yep. All right, here we go.
Oh, that's why. I need you to press down on that at some point.
All right, so we're working right now
Yeah,
to get the other side done.
I think you're gonna have to be on this side.
All right, so after some exploration under the bumper, looks like this has already been cut. So right now we're in process to get this off,
Which is a pain in the
which is a pain in the dick. So we're gonna try to get this off as best as we can, and yeah, going forward, that's what we're gonna do. So see you in a few. Right now, we got the muffler off. So behind that. Oh, that part we can leave. That part we can leave.
No.
No?
You can put this on and then just bolt it all up.
All right, so yes, we're a work in progress. Getting the mufflers on. Gonna get this bolted up in a matter of seconds, and then we're good to go. All right, so got everything good to go. Gonna get this sucker on. It's pretty clean underneath. But
Center bolt. How are we getting that one in?
that's where we got the socket. It's all good.
That is your 1314 GT500 muffler.
There you go. Now we're quad tipped. All right, looks good. I don't know. All right, back to muy bueno. Here we go. We're gonna keep going with the. Now we're gonna do the other side. And that completes our second muffler installed. I feel like we should do a cold start now.
I'm all for it, man.
All right, we're quad tipped on this fucking Coyote. I don't even care about dropping an F-bomb, especially after this piping being a pain in the penis.
Sponsor me, YouTube.
And just like that, you've got a Coyote quad tipped. Look at that. It's beautiful. Beautiful. We're gonna be tackling this in just a second. So we're gonna try and get this done right now. We already got this piece taken off. We're gonna try and use the trim tool piece and just pop this out from underneath. So we're gonna try and go from under, pop them out, and pop the new one back in. Going for that cold start now, quad tip Coyote. like 3K. Lethal right there. Lethal cold start. Oh my God, sounds fantastic. What happens when life gives you lemons and you make lemonade? You take an F-150 catch can that, you know, hooks into the positive crank side of your motor right in here and right back into your intake manifold. Look at that, real man of genius, except for that part that just fell, but it's okay.
So just to clarify what's actually going on here, there's a lot of people who will just throw catch cans on in the midst of just modifying their car because they think it's a necessity. 9 times out of 10, it is a necessity. What this does is this actually prevents the oil from being burned off in your intake manifold.
Yep.
So your engine will run cleaner. You change it out every oil change interval. You won't have any issues.
Yep. And the other portion that we're going to get to today is this and this, which is the upper radiator hose right to here. Which means I think we're gonna have to take this off.
And the reason we're doing that, I don't know if you can see. So right down here, we got a little bit of a coolant leak. As you can see,
I just saw the drop. I just saw the active drop.
It's still actively leaking. So we're gonna go ahead and replace this coolant manifold as well as the upper radiator hose.
Yep.
And what happens is there's actually a little seal on here, and all the Fords that have these style hoses, those seals will go bad. They'll start to crack. They'll rot out.
And you can't reuse it.
You can't reuse it.
It's one and done. That's it.
So,
all right, we're gonna get back to this in a second. We're also going to do a sound tube delete kit, which is this, a clamp and a cover. So we're gonna unbolt it right over here. As you can see, I think that's a 13, and then we're just gonna clamp it off with this little plastic piece. So just bear with us 1 second. So that is a 10mm bolt that comes out. That part comes right out and apart. And now we're gonna use this piece. Here you go. Just clamp Reno it right on in there.
there's a wire.
There's a wire coming out there. We're gonna have to figure that part out. It might be part of the sound system that's on this car. Well, I guess we're not doing that anyway, but we'll put this on our cold air intake, which will go on like such right here with the clamp. So we're gonna take care of that. Look at that. I think that's the limit of that clamp. Just slide it on.
Good pro tip: if you want everything to look nice and pretty, you want all your bolts facing the same
up.
way. Well, it doesn't matter if they're up or down, just facing the same way. You know, it pleases the eye, and you don't have any fucking idiots coming up to you. Your bolts are backwards. Your brain's backwards. And that's on.
And that's on. Ta-da! $12 part off eBay. $70 part off eBay. Priceless!
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, we're gonna get to this in just a second. We're gonna finish up our RTR deck lid, and we'll be right back. All right, so while he's taking care of the coolant, I'm taking care of this for the deck lid that's going on. So just stay tuned and enjoy the cut. All right, and that part's out. The new part that's gonna go in would be this. And if some people know what it is, it's the RTR deck lid. So I'm gonna touch up the sides, make sure it's perfectly good, and then we're gonna pop this sucker in. All right, so after some fighting with the bumper and then having to Dremel the crap out, which you can see is all scattered along the ground, is the RTR deck lid with quad tips on a Coyote. It's looking pretty. Oh yeah, changes the whole dynamic. All right, so we got to run a Napa. We got to get a hose, and that's for our intake manifold. Then we'll be good to start it up. We'll put our trunk back together again, and should be time for the driving portion. So we're gonna update you. Got the cold air on again. Now with the sound tube delete, we got this filled with coolant. So we're turning the heat on. So we got the new T thermostat part on and the upper radiator hose. That's good to go. We're good to go now. We're running the car right now so it can build up the pressure for the coolant, so we can pressurize this system right now. We had to go to Napa, get some line right here, get that on for our intake manifold. And then our real man of genius got the catch can. It's gonna sit a little funky, but I don't really care because it's gonna do the job of catching whatever that's coming out of the positive crankcase and gonna prevent it from running and or burning off in the cylinder heads or the intake manifold, getting all covered with oil. So we're gonna get this running right now. It's running right now with the heat full on. We're gonna let it do its thing. The next thing we'll be tackling will be our struts in the front. So that's going to be the next thing. We're gonna break for lunch, and then we're gonna get right back to this on the struts, and should be golden. The rear is all done. I'll show it to you just in a second here. Completely different look. Looks so much better. Looks extremely mean. So that's what we got going on. So that's what we have going on for right now. We'll be back momentarily, all right? All right, so we got our first strut all completed and together using the kit from AutoZone. So we got one side done. We're gonna do the other side, and then we're gonna be doing the install portion.
Hey guys, Chris Fix here.
Oh my God. And so yes, we're working on the struts, and then we're gonna be swapping it out and taking everything apart inside here to replace these, and then we're gonna be golden. So we'll see you in a little bit, guys. All right, so we're putting the second side together right now. So I'm catching this on film so you guys can see.
So basically, I've never done this before, other than today. I've done it on lowering springs, but it's a little bit different because lowering springs you have more room. These are stock GT500 struts with stock springs.
You mean GT?
GT, whatever. So the goal, I guess your objective if you're doing this at home, is to not damage your face. So I'll just go a little bit at a time. On each side. And you're going to want to, compress it all the way because we have to get this strut mount
Assembled.
and it's got to go in the car. So It's a brand new strut mount, straight from Ford. Underneath you'll see where the end of the spring seats into the strut mount, and you have the corresponding one on the lower, on the strut itself. So essentially this will sit up top, and we're gonna find, yep, right there. So that's gonna go there, and then all we'll have to do is compress and center the strut.
And that's it.
And fucking sender, bud. I'm starting to see the threads on top. So what we'll do is we'll grab the nylon nut, give her a little squeeze, push down,
And then impact it.
and the nut goes on. Maybe. Might have to tighten it a little more.
Yeah, a little more.
That's okay. I think we have a little wiggle room.
Yeah, this side.
Till it bottoms out. And now, push
And thread.
and that's on. So now we'll take our 22mm socket,
I thought it was 21. Is it 22?
21mm socket. We will come up here. Goes till she's tight.
All the way to the bottom.
All the way to the bottom. And then now we can release the tension off of the spring.
One side at a time. Very easy.
Actually, we need to rotate that. So the strut mount actually drifted quite a bit of ways away from where we need it to be. Let's see if we can turn this. No, I don't think we're going to be able to. I think we gotta give her one of those, give her one of those, and then give her
Tighten
one
it
of
down
these.
again. And there it is. It's on. Not going nowhere.
And then now, you'll take
Now we start lowering,
your 19.
loosening the sides a little at a time. A little at a time.
You'll have a runaway strut sometimes. By the way, the entire process during this, these pins are here. These pins are here to protect you. These pins keep these clamps on the springs. If you don't push those in, you might die. There we go.
And
That's
voila.
your strut. And you're done.
All right. We're going to have the install process in just a moment. So we're going to get this ready to go on. So we're going to have to take what's on the car off. All right, guys, hang out for just a quick second. All right, so here we go. We just took out the old, putting in the new one now, and this new one is going to give us the stock ride height. So I'm going to help him right now with. All right, hold on, hold it, 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 hold it. And last one. All right, you can let go. All right, and then this is a 13mm. Just done. And back into place it goes.
Oh, nice.
Caught that on film.
I'm going to show you why I'm not going to tighten these down just yet.
That's fine.
The other ones were just to get it in position.
Right.
But when I go to
Because now we got to put this back in, right?
when I go to put this knuckle back in,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be a little bit of...
Dipsy doodly. Got it. All right, so we're going to work on putting this back in together, and we're going to get this ready to rock and roll. And then shortly after that, road test. So just bear with us and show you the goods. Yeah, you got to be careful with that piece that could flip up when you're using an impact gun. Top one. we're in. All right, one side down. We're gonna tighten this up shortly, and then we're gonna get to the other side in just a second. All right, so here's the passenger side that we're getting to on this side. Already got the sway bar link off and removed.
Here, let me give you guys a close up. So what we're doing here is we're replacing the strut. On the back here, we have a 10 millimeter that's coming in from the other side. So you want to take that 10 mil off. Hey. Let's try this one again. Craftsman for the win.
So Nick's gone. Best fucking purchase ever. I'm throwing that in the video too.
So a lot of people think that you got to zip these out when they're loose, and you don't. All you have to do,
Wiggle it.
rock it back and forth, and the fucker comes out. So now from here, we're already disconnected down below. We'll come
Now
up
we're gonna
top,
take the top one out.
and we'll just zip them out.
So now we're gonna zip them out and get them ready to go. You want me to hold the... I got this. Oh, all right, go.
So always a good idea to keep in mind which way the strut was facing when it came out. So this is the old strut that was on the car with lowering springs, and as we can see, the knuckle, which would sit right here, so it'd be facing this way on the car. This little notch gives you an indication on where to put the strut mount in relation to the shock tower on the car, or strut tower. So we have the new one already set up. It is in position, and we're gonna go.
And we're gonna put it in right now. All right. Almost. All right, I'll help you with this right now. All right.
And then you simply
Your
just
strut is on. We're gonna tighten this down in just a second,
you just
and then we're
rock
gonna
it
finish
in.
the other side momentarily. We're gonna get this all pieced back in on the car again. Make Mustangs great again. That's what I feel like this segment is called, making Mustangs great again. Unbolt. All right, and that concludes our struts replacement back to OEM factory height. Got the driver and passenger completed. I'll be making a separate video for parts that I don't need, so they are going to be for sale. All right, we're gonna get the car lowered back on the ground. We're gonna use the torque wrench, and we're gonna, make sure all the wheels are good, and then road test it. So the last thing that we're gonna talk about today is the grill. I have the grill coming in, and we're gonna change the grill up, but basically the car is all done for what we want to do. And yeah, the only other thing that we have to do left is get the holes for the license plate, so we're going to get that taken care of very shortly, and then we're going to get it on the road and ready to go, and then drive time. All right, guys, so hang on for a second, okay? Drive time. So like I said, we're gonna get a new grill. It's coming in a matter of days. Just straight back. Look at that car. It's pretty. Pretty. Well, that's going to wrap it up for today on the car. So we got everything pretty much done except for the rear sway bar. So we got the rear taken care of, the mufflers taken care of, the front struts taken care of. We got the coolant leak taken care of. Wish we could have done the rear sway bar, but I'll be taking care of that and getting the oil change done. 2 birds, 1 stone. So that's going to end it up with the video for today. Thank you to Crispy50, and I am very appreciative of his efforts for today. And now we got the car right where I want it to, and now it sounds fantastic as well as looks fantastic. The next video that I'm going to do will be changing this hood that you see that's on it. This hood is going to be changing, so got a hood that I may have purchased from Jason Texera, so we'll see. Stay tuned to see what happens with this car. All right, guys, we'll see you next time. Have a great day. Stay safe. Stay tuned for our next video. Thanks for watching.